everybody, Mike Pfeiffer, Pfeiffer Hobby Supply. Today we're going to do update 32 and just show you the miscellaneous things I've been up to. Okay everybody, I'm going to show you what I've done today. And you may see it back there. You see that piece of blue foam back there? It's not just there to build scenery on, and let me show you what I'm talking about. If I reach way out here, it's just a pattern that fits there. And now I can take it off and I can build the scenery on it, and I have pieces of foam in there to hold it up, and once I do the scenery on it, I just put it back in place, like so. I think I'm going to do another one back behind here as well, just because I can. Nothing between there and there, because that's so narrow. And the same thing going down that way. But I am going to show you what I'm going to do next. I had somebody comment to me, actually a couple of guys, that said it looks weird to have a tunnel portal there right underneath the Indian ruins. And I guess it never even clicked to me, and I went, yeah, that is kind of dumb. Especially when the scenery over here is going to be so high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tunnel portal right over here somewhere and another tunnel portal right over here somewhere, or in the same vicinity. But I have also gotten some of this foam cut out in here for the bridge that goes across. I have also, since I cut this, I had very little meat here to attach the riser to. So anyway, last night I attached that. I had this piece here that I put in that I was telling you guys about. It was dangling out here in midair, and it was just kind of wonky. Woo, 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 woo. So anyway, I cut that piece of foam, put that piece of foam in there to just give it a little bit of support until I get scenery attached to it. I also cut it back right in here and right over there so that I can put scenery down to here somewhere. Down to here somewhere. Anyway, and I put this block in here to keep this from shifting. Yet I still have a lot of room down in here, and even if I put the tunnel portals up in here, you can see that I still have access. If I lose a train in there, I could still get in there with my arm and get it out. And if not, I can cut a little bit of foam out of this corner because it's resting on some wood down there. So there's a lot of things I can do there to get to that. It's not a big deal. And the theory is I'm not going to have any trouble in there. Let's just say that. What I am going to do is I'm going to put some blocks out here. I'm going to make a pattern. I'm going to put some blocks out here and some blocks on the scenery over here, or on the fascia rather over here. And I'm just going to make another piece of either the 1/2 inch or the 1 inch to just fill this in so that I can build scenery on top of it, if that makes sense. So I did mark out where the track was laying, where everything was running properly here, and I did take the bridge out. I didn't take the trestle out yet. I'm going to cut some of this down in here so that I can put the trestle bents in. That's yet to be done. Don't know when I'll get to that. I'll probably wind up putting the plaster cloth down in there, get it the shape I want it, put the plaster cloth in, and then cut the bents and put them in there. But anyway, we're next, I got carried away. Next, I'm going to put this piece of foam in here just to support the scenery, the adjoining scenery, and it will also sit on some blocks that will be attached to the side of here and to the side of here, and down on the pink foam as well. So that's the plan. I'm going to get with it. Okay guys, so here are all the supports that are going to hold up that piece of 1/2 inch. And then I can put the scenery on top of it. You can see that it goes across here. It's not exactly level here, but I really don't care. And it's going to be a 1/2 inch higher than the fascia here, but I'll cut it down and blend the scenery to the fascia. I put two strips of foam roadbed down on the outside of that curve, and then I put the foam core board in there so that nothing falls back behind there, so that if I do have to get up from this side, I won't have any cars to fish for over on the other side. And I have the same thing underneath that tunnel over there, so nothing can fall to the outside and get lost. I only put wing walls or tunnel inserts on the inside of these. I don't think I'll need anything other than that. We'll see how that goes. But there you go. Now I got to make a pattern. Okay everybody, I know I say I make a template, and I guess probably a lot of you may be wondering how that's done. All I do is take a bunch of typing paper, tape it across where I need it to be, and obviously this is not going to be 100% correct, but I can trim the foam down as needed, so I make it slightly larger than what I draw out with a pencil. But it's basically just taping all these pieces of typing paper together. Now I guess it's copy paper in today's world. But anyway, I tape them all together. I'll draw on it, then I'll show you what I have. I'll cut it out, and I'll show you how I cut the foam out. Okay, so here you can see that I started out with a marker, but I needed a pencil, so I had to go find my pencil. But I just push down on it with my thumb and make sure that I'm approximately where I'm supposed to be all the way around. I know there's nothing under there. Then I push down on it and kind of see where the outline of where the Indian ruins is. I'm sure I'll have to adjust that. I could also take that and extend it by about 3 inches, which I might do when I cut it out without having a piece of paper there. And then I just run the pencil edge along the edge of the fascia, which gives me a straight line down to this corner. It's probably going to be a little large when I cut it, but I'd rather have it large than too small. So we're going to cut this out, cut the template out. We're going to put the template on the foam, and we're going to mark it, and we're going to cut it out. Okay, so after cutting it out, that's what we wind up with. We're going to see what makes the most sense of laying it on this 1/2 inch, and we'll cut it out, and we'll see how she fits. Okay, here we have our pattern transferred to our foam, and I did add extra down here. We'll just see how it works out. It's not a big deal. I'm going to cut it out, and I cut it out using, hold on one second. I think I mentioned this blade. I bought it at Lowe's. I put a new blade in it, I extended it all the way out, and it cuts through that foam like butter. This one's a little bit used, but we're going to continue to use it until it's no longer usable. But we'll cut this out in a heartbeat, and we'll see how it fits. Okay, we have our piece cut out here, but I wanted to show you some. I don't know if all of you guys who watch the videos are aware, but a lot of this foam has a thin plastic vapor barrier on the back of it. You have got to tear that off before you glue it down, because if you glue it down, you put glue on here and you glue something to the top of this, it's not going to stay there. So always be sure and pull this membrane off, and it comes off really easy. You can see I can do it with one hand, even holding the camera. Anyway, take that off or you won't get glue to stick to it. Okay guys, there is my piece of foam cut out, and I'll make an adjustment to it right here on this corner. I'll cut it round over to there, and then I'll figure out how to fill this in here. But it fits pretty good, and I need a little bit of support right back over there, so I think I'll put something in there somewhere, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's sitting on the foam that it's supposed to be sitting on. I obviously have to cut a little bit from the edge right here in a couple places and so forth, but it is a sufficient support to start putting scenery on there and keep the idea of it. The basic idea of it is to keep all the scenery material and everything from going down on the track below. So I think we've accomplished that. So that's it for making a pattern and cutting out a piece of scenery support here. Okay, everybody, I got the canyon. I just got done roughing in the canyon. I don't want to stick anything permanently to that piece of foam up there because I want to try and make it removable in case I have a problem down there. It would be kind of nice to have it removable, so I'm going to see what I can do about getting it to that point. But anyway, the contours here, you can't really see them very well, I guess. Maybe you can. They work for the bridges that I have, and what I'm probably going to do is put the bridges in and then do the plaster around the bridges and go from there. So there is that. Okay, gang, I got brave and tried to put the bridge piers in, and even though they're a little bit crooked right now, they'll be fine like they are. This one here, I'll cover it up with underbrush so it'll give the impression that it's down in. You won't see it. I also have, hang on, I have these guys who go in, but I've got to glue those in place. But what I'm doing right now is I just have these roughly supporting the bridge, like I did have the two pieces of foam in there, and I'm running some trains around to see how this is gonna fly, and I'll show them to you getting to this point. And by the way, it's raining outside. It's a little chilly today, and I have the heat pump on here on 79. I've only had it on for a few minutes, and it is really comfortable in here. So I didn't know how to make the heat work. The manual's all in Spanish. I'd have to go translate it, but I figured it out, and right now I've got it on 79 with a medium fan, and it is comfortable. Now, our two trains are coming right here, and like I say, I'll get them when they get around. I'll take a picture of them going through the tunnels over here. Now these two trains are going opposite directions using right hand running. Now I'm going to run over to the bridges. That one we know has been no problem. And here comes the other one. And no problems. And I've run these trains around a few laps. I'm pretty satisfied and pretty happy with where these are going to be glued. And I will work on, I may work on scenery in there later. Let me show you something else. Okay, gang, I made a tub of rocks. And so I've got two batches of rocks from about 10 different molds. 3 of those molds are handmade molds. But anyway, I've got rocks to use here and start putting in place. Now let me show you what I'm thinking about doing here in a minute. Okay, what I want to do is I want to get that tied into that. And I want to get that tied into that. So I do believe that I'm going to start working on that. It is nearly 1 o'clock. I probably won't get started on it now. We're getting ready to take the dogs for ice cream. Yeah, I know, us too. So I think I'll probably leave it at this for right now. And but this is what I'm going to work on back here, and whether I get this on video or not, I don't know, but I'll make a video today, I think. Okay, everybody, hope you enjoyed update 32, and as usual, thanks for watching.